Today I visited the Griffith Observatory. While there, I touched the moon.
Now also today we have a moon rock and a Mars rock that you can touch. A moon rock and a Mars rock. They're on the next level up here against the wall. And you'll see it. It says meteorite origins at the bottom of the orange lighted panel. There's a moon rock and Mars rock. Touch that moon rock today.
It reminded me of when I was younger. After I graduated high school, I traveled all over the place. I always used to go to art museums, and when I was there, I would sometimes touch the paintings. I once even touched a Matisse. Over 3,000 people visit the Griffith Observatory every day. The classic 1950s movie Rebel Without a Cause was filmed here, and so was this year's classic La La Land. The person who first made me fall in love with museums is my grandpa. When I was 10 or 11, he came to town and took me to an aviation museum. The plane I remember most was a big blue bomber sort of plane. It looked sort of like this. While there, something sort of embarrassing happened, but I'll tell you about it because it's funny. I needed to use the bathroom, but when I went into the bathroom, I noticed that their toilets used a certain type of camera that I had become very scared of at the time when I was young. Everyone's seen it, just an automatic toilet sensor. It just detects motion and stuff. But at the time, I thought that it was a camera and that a man in a security room, or two men or three, would just be sitting there watching you, and then they would flush the toilet for you when they saw you were done. So I always avoided using automatic toilets for a period of like 6 or 7 months back then. And then eventually I learned it was a sensor. On this day though, I was still avoiding them, and so I went to a porta potty at the edge of the parking lot, which I had seen before when we entered the museum. But while I was in there, I washed my hands with a urinal cake. So that's the embarrassing thing. I thought it was a bar of soap, but it was a urinal cake. Of course, the greatest thing about an observatory is observing outer space.